What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for a live show the day after our final game at the Club World Cup. And, well, thankfully, our last game in quite some time, at least a solid month. I say quite some time, but it's not actually that long. We're going to talk about... the game, maybe like the outcome, or like what the game meant, basically what Kamoleia had to say, because that came all into play, and he made some very, I thought, interesting, some worrying statements as well, in my opinion, and some things that I will hold him against if he doesn't deliver in a couple of months times, excuse me. We'll always talk about Jonathan David because it's a done deal, and he will be he will do his how do you want to call it, his medical. He will have his medical, excuse me, on Friday, and then we will talk about the other news: Jadon Sancho, Douglas Luiz, all that. But first off, Norbert, are you happy? We have a month of no football for us.
Yes, it was enough. It was a long season. I think the players would say the same.
Yeah.
At this point, they played crazy amount of games, and in the States as well. It was really hot, not just in Europe. So yeah, and now let the mercato begin. We already have the first signing, so yeah, I'm excited. Kinda.
Yeah, same. People asking to call in. I was planning to do a call in, but then I skipped it because I might do it tomorrow. I don't know. People would have called in today because there are a lot of things to say. But if I'm gonna do a call in show, it's going to be tomorrow, and maybe down throughout the show I will let some people call in, but I need to check if I can still set it up. But yeah, tomorrow probably call in show, and if it's not tomorrow, then worst case scenario it's Sunday evening. So yeah, okay, let's first start off by talking about the game. Not maybe the end result, because I think we were all expecting that, we're like hoping you win, but like expectations were we're gonna probably lose by more. My takeaway is very simple. We have a couple of very good players that form a semi-decent first 11, and they can play for 45 minutes. The moment we start making subs, the level goes down like an insane level. It doesn't help when the first team is already not good enough, the starting 11. It doesn't help when Tudor makes very odd decisions as well when he makes subs. We could have gone up, and maybe that would have been a different game. It would have opened up more things. Who knows? That we'll never know. That's my takeaway. Second half, yeah, you put a lot of other players out there, and that's what you get. I thought it was worrying that Tudor said 10 players. He was pushing it, but he's basically saying everybody was asked to be sub. I know it's been a long season, but I don't see other teams asking that, so that was worrying. And yeah, I mean, some crazy, I thought, outcomes. Rugani's fantastic. No, if we sit back low, I think Rugani could be decent. But if we, I don't expect us to sit back every single week, hopefully. And if we don't do that, he will get exposed as he has been in the past. I don't think we got completely outplayed at the back. We gave up a lot of shots, but a lot of those shots were from outside of the box, and you have Di Gregorio in there. Now, at one point, Di Gregorio is not going to keep them all out, so it remains worrying. But the end result is we played two good teams, and we conceded plus 20 shots against those two teams, and Di Gregorio almost made 30 saves in the tournament. That's just not good enough. It's as simple as that. So that's my takeaway of the game. Obvious what we need to do. And yeah, that's basically it. Coming out of that game, that's how I feel.
Yeah, we don't have quality on the bench. We know that, and not even in the starting 11. To be honest, we have 4 or 5 players that are actually Juve quality, and the rest is really not. And my takeaway is that Kalulu is really fast. Vinny, or I don't know, Vinny is slow or tired, I don't know, but Kalulu was eating him up speed-wise. Same with Huijsen. Huijsen is slow, and Kolo is fast. I like that as well. And love to see Huijsen suffer with his passing. I love that, to be honest. And people still saying that how good he was. For me, it's insane. But yeah, all the other things we knew that we have no subs quality, and we get tired fast. So yeah, it was a whatever game. We thought we're gonna lose, and we lost. I honestly thought it's going to be a similar game to the City one. Thankfully, it was a lot closer. And if we score that, if Kolo scores that goal, who knows? But yeah,
Are you
it's finally over.
are you because I going into the tournament, I told my expectation, we were never going to win it, so I
Yeah.
will never be that disappointed. And even, yes, I won't say I'm disappointed, but I'm a bit annoyed the way the game panned out,
Yeah.
considering how we all thought it was going to be. That's my frustrating part. I think Komori came out, said a bit frustrated as well. But it makes sense that you lose that game. We were chucking in bad players, and they were bringing in Mbappe and Modric. I mean, even Modric is 40. Yeah, we are chucking McKennie, and they're bringing in Modric, who's playing for Allegri next season, which is crazy. And we might renew McKennie. The difference between a McKennie at 25 or a Modric at 40 is still insane. It's still, and obviously it's insane, but that's actually my point. When people say don't sign these players, you'll see what he will do at Milan, one game a week as well. But I mean, that was also a massive difference. The moment we were making subs, and Alonso was making subs, I was like, yeah, this is not even going to be close. And if not for Di Gregorio, it wouldn't be close as well. So it's only like logical at the end the way the game went, because we struggle. Like players, we bring in players who are just bad all season or bad all tournament, and you expect them to turn a game around. Yeah, that's just never going to happen, is it? Like,
Yeah,
that was just bringing on players just for the sake of bringing them on at that point.
yeah. But I must say the defense was solid overall. We conceded from a header. Other than that, nothing. I don't know. Like Di Gregorio, I expect him a lot, and he delivers. He's a really good goalkeeper, and if people still say that he's not Juve quality, then I don't know what to tell them, because like he clearly shows he is.
Somebody told me Perina is better and I should be starting. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about opinions, but I think he's not a pro. That's why at the start of the window, when I was talks about Donnarumma, I'm like, there's no need to waste a transfer fee and high wages when you have a goalkeeper who's performing very well, and he's Italian and he's young, like people want. And maybe Donnarumma is a better goalkeeper, but I mean, it's not going to win us the league, is he? It's not going to be the difference.
And the difference is not that big. I don't rate Donnarumma too highly. I don't think the difference between him and Di Gregorio would be that much.
You know what it is?
So I never understood that.
An insane Champions League campaign when the entire world is watching. But and for Italy does well, but he like his move to PSG up to this point has been with ups and downs. Like that's just the reality of it as well, But again, people don't watch PSG when they play at Rennes. Not that I do every week, but when the eyes are the entire world. Remember last season campaign? He was getting killed, and this season campaign, everybody's like, "Oh my god!" So, but that's a different, discussion point. I'm assuming. Obviously, it's Comolli the first thing we will talk about Vlahovic and transfer news in a second, but because the title of the show is Comolli, I don't know if you read everything he said, or you remember kind of what he said. In a nutshell, he basically said this was useful, so now we learn what we kind of need to do. I was like, you probably didn't need that, but fine, whatever. And I was like, cool. And then he went on a little bit, and I was like, ugh. He said, with a couple of targeted moves, we can be competitive, because the base is very good. We just need to get these people to learn how to win again, basically. And then he also said the players who are here, we need to convince them they're good players. What I took away from it was we're going to try to sign 2-3 key players, but a lot of the rubbish is just going to stay. That's how I looked at it. A lot of the bad players are just going to be here. And the thing is, we play so many games this season that you're going to bring in these bad players quite often, and the drop off will be insane. So I don't know how you view those comments from Comolli, but that's my view on it.
Yeah, I don't know. He said many things, but so far we signed Jonathan David, and and they keep on talking about how we're gonna sign Oshiman as well, or we're gonna try at least, and Colomani is still gonna be here and all that stuff. So I'm not sure. And I'm just afraid that somehow we're not gonna sign a center back, or I don't know. Those kind of rumors died off, so I'm kind of afraid of that. But there's not gonna be a big overhaul. I believe we have the money, but I think it's gonna be only a couple of key players, maybe three, four.
Now, if he said we've learned what we need to do, basically,
center
then
back,
sure, then surely you cannot ignore. Like if you come out of that window and you didn't improve that back line on multiple positions, I'm saying, then we have a massive issue in terms of people who are running this club are actually insane. Like that's the only takeaway. When you come out and say we know what we need, and actually, yesterday the entire world was watching that game. The entire world was saying the same thing. That back line is horrendous. When people were saying that front line is workable and that midfield is manageable, but that back line is so. The entire world was saying that. So if everyone can see it, and at the end of the window you haven't improved really one bit in that area, then you do not know what you're doing as a club. And I don't care if you sign Osimhen and Ederson and you kept Colomani. I don't care about that at that point, because that season is a complete throw. You can have Pep Guardiola in charge or whoever.
Yeah.
If that's your backline next season, you're just going to do absolutely nothing. You're going to have a very long season where you'll end up losing 6-7 games in Serie A easily, like very easy. Like it is what it is. So I don't know right now. Excuse me. There are no rumors, and that worries me as well. But I expect those rumors to pop up starting from next week. No excuses. We need to get linked with, or in talks, not linked, just in talks, because there's no way you watch that. And to be honest, Tudor made it worse, because Savona goes down and Kelly goes down, and he brings in Kostic to play in the back three. I'm like, you're just killing these players out there. I know the formation he's playing, that's what we're gonna play. So, like that's what he wants to do next season. But man, like, come on, help these guys out there at the back. Bringing in Kostic is doing nobody a favor. So that didn't help as well. The way we set up, despite having so many injuries and so many limitations at the back, but quality is just lacking all over the place at the back. It's as simple as that.
And once we improve the starting 11, then I think you talked about it as well, that once you improve the starting 11, the whole, obviously the right now starter is going to be the subs, so the quality will be a lot better. I'm sorry, we need to get rid of some of these players, because I don't know, it's just we are renewing McKennie, like seriously. I really don't get that.
Actually, there's an update I will talk about in a second. I recorded a podcast with Julian that will be out tomorrow, and I asked Julian, so I'm going to spoil it a little bit, because not everyone agrees with it, and for once I do not like. I always say it's an opinion, but right now I cannot see why people wouldn't agree with it. What I'm going to say right now, you can tell me if I'm talking like a crazy guy or just if we move out squad players or players who should be squad players but are playing first team football, like a McKennie, maybe potentially Gatti, whatever, those type of players, if you move them out, like, and I'm not saying Colt Miners Gonzalez, because I think everybody's like, get them out, but these players, when you move them out, you cash in on them, you get a starting player in that position, a player who has real quality to start, and you just keep Miretti on the bench to play 20 games, and not even 90-minute 20 games. Haven't we improved? And people say no. And I don't get that because, for example, I know, forget about the positions right now. I'm just talking pure quality. You move out McKennie, you bring in Ederson, you keep Miretti in the squad. Has the squad improved? And I'm not positions. I'm talking quality of players you bring in. Has the squad not improved? Am I wrong to say we have improved? Because Ederson is better than McKennie, you know? So you get McKennie out, who is a starter / not a starter. You get quality in, and if that quality goes down, you bring in Miretti. Will Miretti do a good enough job like McKennie is doing 70% of the season when he doesn't have that hardworking run? Yeah. And I'm not even saying Miretti is a world beater, and I'm just saying Miretti because he's on loan. I could pick anyone, any random midfielder we have or something. And people are like, that's not true. We haven't improved. I don't understand how we would not be improving overall as a team. I don't get it.
Yeah, you're completely right. And Miretti has a high ceiling in my eyes, and maybe not as high as like starter at Juve, like for a whole season. But I think he can be a good squad player. And at Genoa under Vieira, he showed he can be good. And yeah, I don't know. And also if we sell McKennie, what, 20, 25 mil tops, and we buy Ederson for what, 50, 40? How much is Ederson now?
Who?
50-ish. Ederson.
Yeah, I just mentioned Ederson because that's the only kind of real midfield link we had so far.
Yeah.
And it's still early. It can be anyone at this stage. Just a better player than McKennie.
So it would mean net would cost us like 30 million to upgrade. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I just don't understand the McKennie. I know if I say Gatti, people will rise up, but yeah.
On McKennie, because you said he's Mirko Niatara said it's on hold right now, and they're waiting new talk. So
I love that.
Maybe I'm just telling myself lies, or just hoping at this point. But we should not renew him, in my opinion. That's because right now you're moving out Douglas Luiz. That's basically it, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But you only have Thuram, and people are still questionable about Locatelli, but he's going to stay. So Thuram and Locatelli, and that's about it, right? There's nothing else, because Nico Gonzalez, whatever you play him, Colt Miners, I mean, he's going to stay. He's not going to leave. But right now, he looks like an X. And actually, Nico Gonzalez managed to look worse than Colt Miners. I don't know how he managed to do that, but he found a way. He figured it out. He cracked the code, So for me, we need to improve in midfield as well. But that's not the main. I think that should be natural because you move on from certain players. Let me see what people are saying. Honestly, I think Miretti and Hans will be an upgrade next season if they stay compared to the current midfielders we have this season. Hans is not our player anymore. He's gone, yeah. It's been confirmed. PSG fan here. I hope Colo will stay at Juve. Also, I've watched a lot of Jonathan David, and he can be clutch. He's just not always very good in tight spaces. We'll talk about that as well in a sec. What do you think about the Højlund rumors? Yeah, it's not possible. Also, I like Højlund, but if we keep Locatelli, I don't think it's a smart decision to sign him, in my opinion.
Plus, for that much money, I'm not sure.
Yeah, as well. I like him. I do like him. I think he's a very good player. But if you keep Locatelli, I don't really see. It doesn't really make sense, in my opinion. That's what I'm trying to say. Not saying that he's bad or something, but because I do like him even before he went to Sporting. But that ship has
Sporting has some players I would take, to be honest.
As Gyökeres.
Ignacio.
Oh, Ignacio. Yeah, I think everybody would take him.
Yeah, I just don't understand. There are not even rumors about him. I just don't understand. No one, I don't know.
Fabrizio Bomba. If you baited me, I'm gonna, because somebody told me that last time, and it was a move.
I don't know
something.
Just Sancho.
After Jonathan David deal, Juve have called Mania for Jadon Sancho. Fenerbahce out of the race and never been in contact. Juve may contact. More clubs also reach out to Jadon.
It's not much.
Yeah, it's not really. It's not much, to be honest. So you kind of baited me. It's no real update. We knew that. And also, to be honest, Romano's a bit late on Juve news this season. He's been very
I
late,
mean,
actually.
he's always late with everything. I'm sorry, like he's just tapping merchant.
Maybe, but especially on Juve news, he's just like other sources are better this season. They're more in the know.
Yeah.
I think Mirko Di Natale is better in the known than Romano when it comes to Juve. That's that. One question: Yildiz is amazing. How long do you think he will stay at Juve? When does his contract end? Well, he's going to sign a new deal. You cannot fumble that.
Probably 30, 31.
Yeah. How long will he stay? If we are this, maybe a year or two max. If we stay like this, and if he stays, then he actually loves the club, and I think everybody will absolutely be stunned. Like let's be real,
this
right? Yeah.
this day and age, I just can't imagine any player would stay longer at the club. So I don't know. I wish he would.
Yeah. Okay. We talked about the game and what Comolli had to say. That's basically it. So we need to go off the assumption that he's obsessed, because he said, I'm obsessed with improving the squad and the players we have over here. So maybe that's kind of iffy, with the players over here. Juve are pushing to keep Colomani on loan with an option to buy. But PSG at the moment are not open to that option, which we kind of knew.
Yeah.
We knew that. It was never going to be another loan with an option, because I think PSG know they can sell him to the Premier League as well. So let's stick on that really quickly. If we're trying to keep Colomani, and we're still trying to sign Osimhen, but the ends Jadon Sancho, what are we trying to do up front after we sign Jonathan David?
I have no idea, because Colomani, it would be an obligation, and we would there would be a lot of money spending on Osimhen and spending on him as well. It would be a lot of money. It would be at least, I don't know, like 100 million for sure.
Is that Osimhen thing then completely not true? But it's coming from the same source, so
I think one of them is true, not both, for some reason.
Because in the same article,
can't imagine.
In the same article, he keeps saying that the club are still trying to, see if Osimhen wants to join, if it's possible. From Napoli, by the way, not from the player, from Napoli, he's saying.
I can't see it. How is that possible?
I think if you put the money on the table, Napoli will sell, because their market is a little bit blocked as well because of money.
How much? How much do you think it's realistic? 60?
Well, 75. They will ask for 75.
I don't know. But certainly we're not going to have Colomani, Osimhen, and Jonathan David. Like, certainly. That would be crazy. And I don't believe Jonathan David came here to be a bench player either,
No, if you put him on that. No, as well. But again.
Oh, now you muted.
Really?
Now I heard you.
Okay. Having options is a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
No? I mean, I don't know what the plan is. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what the plan is. It's all confusing up front. We're trying to do certain things. We're doing many things at the back, and nothing at the back. And up front, it's confusing. Yeah. It's very confusing what we're trying to do up front. I don't have an idea.
Yeah. It's just so many players. I don't know. I mean, if we get rid of Nico Gonzalez and Conceicao is not coming,
I don't because keep in mind, if you play the formation we play right now, and let's say you sign Osimhen, so he's gonna play up top. Who's gonna play who's gonna play behind him? Is it Colomani and Yildiz? But then you're signing Jonathan David and you're signing Jadon Sancho. I don't know. It seems weird. So right now, I need to agree with you that Osimhen thing seems crazy if you're trying to push for Colomani as well. And I like Colomani, but if you give me the option to sign Osimhen, I get Osimhen, even though I actually like Colomani. I'll get Osimhen.
We are certainly not going to play with wingers, right? Like Sancho will play behind the strikers with Yildiz, behind the striker with Yildiz, right? Because we're not going to play with wingers. Any news?
Not that I know, to be honest. Can spend 150 million strikers when we don't have creative nor backbone box midfield. The midfield needs to improve as well. Like, you can say the best, you can bring in R9. If you don't have a squad behind it, they're going to struggle as well.
I think, but the midfield is interesting because Thuram and Locatelli together are good, but because we don't have a ball-playing center back, Locatelli needs to play in line with the defense, you know. And that's what we saw against Madrid as well. That Thuram was on the midfield alone, So, well, we need center backs, and I think we need like a squad player that are actually good squad player in the midfield, not McKennie. And I think because we're gonna sell Luis, then they're gonna get someone for sure. They has to buy someone. But yeah, center back. I'm dying for a center back, to be honest.
Do you think the club is just opening up to multiple scenarios and then see what's possible? Because the Osimhen thing keeps, actually the way Di Marzio framed it right now, it's more of, I don't think Osimhen accepting Juve is an issue right now, because he said it's to be determined if Napoli are going to open up to the idea. So I'm assuming he means that's kind of the issue right now.
Yeah.
But isn't it strange? Because my stance is, you need to know now for Osimhen if it's possible, yes or no. Then you go for Colomani and you keep it rolling, I guess. You keep it moving. But you cannot wait too long. You just cannot, because you can lose out on both, especially now PSG are saying no option. You need to buy him. So that leaves you with two options. You buy Osimhen and you pay more, or you buy Colomani. Those are the two options right now. So you need to know very quickly what is realistic.
But also Colomani can be paid next year, no? Like not an option, but like,
Yeah, an obligation, like a loan and obligation.
Yeah, but I think they're just negotiating and see what's going on, which deal can go through, and at that point they will decide who to sign, which is not a bad idea because time is clicking.
Yeah, but I don't know. I absolutely do not know. Zero chance of us having all three of Colo, Osimhen, and David. I don't believe it. I don't see it as well. Thuram was impressive against Real Madrid. Actually, people told me he was bad yesterday, which I couldn't believe, but that's fine. I was watching a podcast. Not watching. I was listening to a podcast. Same like fan channels. Somebody was like, "Oh no, it was a Man U fan because the Sancho thing and Douglas Luiz, which you'll get in a second." He said, why? Somebody said, no, we shouldn't get Douglas Luiz because he had a bad season. He said everyone, like Thuram, had a poor season. I was like, wait, what? That tells you they don't absolutely watch one game of Juve. I would rather get Colo on another loan and play him behind the striker rather than go buy Chico. Well, it's not another loan; it's an obligation. So the real question is, can we offload Vlahovic right now? It seems difficult. Too late in the process to get first-class players. I don't really agree with that because there are first-class players out there still. So I don't really agree with that. PSG need to sell. We have too many players on loan. They will probably discount Colo compared to they're not going to ask that money, but they want money. That's kind of the point, Original price was 90. I doubt it was ever 90. That's what they pay, but that's never what they asked. Yeah. Even last season, that's not what they asked.
So I think next year Colomani is on the books with 50-ish something. So I think they're gonna ask for that just to make it even.
Yeah, so that's kind of probably it. Just get him off the book. I don't think they're looking to make a profit on Colomani, to be honest. I don't think they will succeed as well, unless a Premier League team becomes absolutely mental. That's something crazy. But right now, it seems unlikely, to be honest. Okay, we talked about it. Talk about Jonathan David, because I did my video, so I said what I have to say. So what do you think? It's done. He's having his medical Friday. Apparently, it's a 5-year deal. 5 million plus 2 in bonuses. Some say 6 plus 2. Whatever, we will see. But it's done deal. So what do you make it? Because it's very, very, very split when it comes to opinions on it.
First of all, I like it. I like this deal. I like it that we wanted the player and we actually get the player relatively fast, I must say. And his numbers are really good. I know it's Farmers League, I know it's France and all that stuff, but his numbers are really good. And his numbers in the Champions League is good as well. And he had assists as well, double digits. So yeah, I like him. The dude can run. Yeah, I know Canadians are really happy. We know a few Canadians, Juventino. I like the dude. To be honest, I think it's a really good deal. 5 plus 2 might be a little too much, but it is what it is. He was a free agent.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, his original price was 90. You're right. I thought you meant what they were asking right now, but you're right. With David, is he a world beater? No. Is he a number one guy? No. So that's why I'm like, get me the number one guy. Now, if they view if Scolani the number one guy, also no. Like, they're not that clinical, I would say, to suggest that, if you know what I mean. So that might become a problem at the end of the day. But I mean, I don't have the biggest of issues of it. I might have an issue with it at the end of the summer, if that makes sense. If I see what other deals are going to. I don't care. I don't care when people say it's Liga. I'm like, okay, then you can never buy players anymore.
Yeah.
If you're going to say it's Liga, it's a Portuguese league, it's a Belgian league, it's a Dutch league, then we're never going to sign players but Italian league. And then it will be like, stop buying from the Italian league. So I don't care where a player comes from, to be honest, because if a player can score goals, he can score goals. If it doesn't work out, it happens. Deals do not work out.
Yeah.
That's normal in football, even though, actually, look at us. It's very normal. We have those players in our squad right
now. Not a positive thing is, but I'm not sure, what's going to happen at us, but he's relatively injury-free. I mean, not relatively, completely injury-free. I checked everything, and I didn't really find any major injuries. The last injury was like 2 years ago, like 2 games he missed, and the year before he missed 1 game. But once a player comes to us, hell let loose, and they get injured for life. So yeah, but yeah, I'm happy with that deal, to be honest. But we need to sign another striker for sure.
I mean, Matteo Moretto said, because somebody said it was Fabrizio Romano on that Vlahovic, somebody put in the chat that the idea potentially could be, renew Vlahovic for a year and spread that 12 million out and then loan him out. If you do that, you're a weak club. I'll put it in a very simple word. You're weak. You cannot do that, because that's a problem next season. You need to fix it now, this season. Make a statement, because let's move. I know the show is all over the place. Let's talk about Vlahovic. People who watch this channel for a very long time know I defended it for the longest. Probably. I'm up there, But he's actually disrespectful right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. After the Man City game, he posted, and I was pissed, but I was like, you scored at least. I like, shameless, but forget about it. Today, he dropped that 9 thing after he knows David. Then David news. Everybody knows. Like, let's not kid ourselves. And even if the David news was not out there, why? Like that's just like you're basically taunting the club, saying, "Look at me, I'm the 9, figure it out." It's actually insane. Like it's actually insane. Maybe the Kurva suit was right. Like this is actually insane. What is he? Is he mad about? Like I don't get it. Is he mad? Like what have we done? I actually want to know. Did I miss something we have done? Like have I missed something? Because if he's mad that the club is not offering him the money he's on, and he's mad about that, then he's stupid. Like I'm sorry, if he believes he's gonna get that money, he's stupid. Not his agent, his people around him. Like what's happening? Because if people around him actually care about his career, surely they're stepping in. They're saying, "Dude, what are you doing? Stop doing it, and actually let's look for the other team. Let's go again, because this is weird. Like this behavior is actually very weird. I don't get it." And that's why I'm saying that cannot be an option, the Osimhen type of deal. Because look at Napoli and Osimhen right now. Is that a good situation? It's not. Look at it's like Higuain. We did it with Higuain to Milan, came back. Like it's mad. And even for him, why would he accept that? Go out on loan and come back. Why would he accept that? Makes no sense as well. But what the hell is happening with David Luiz, with him as well, or with Vlahovic? Ivan, what do you make of that post?
Yeah, he wanted to show that he is the number 9 at the club, but Tudor doesn't even like him anymore. He's not playing. He hasn't played at the end of the season. He's not playing too much at the club. He didn't play much at the Club World Cup, so extending him just for him to be on the bench for like 8 mil. I don't know how much is it gonna be if he extends. I don't know. This year, next year, it's just because right now he earns 10.5, and next year it's going to jump up to 12. And no one will give him that money. I would say if someone offers him like 8, that's a miracle. So I just don't understand what does he want from life. And I was defending him as well for the longest time, because I really liked him when we signed him. Like I thought, okay, this is gonna be a star striker, but that didn't turn out to be.
No, if completely thought Alan's saying, I want to know what people want from him to just leave the club and not ask for a salary. Nobody said that. Like actually, Alan, nobody said leave and take no money, because if he leaves, he's gonna get money from other club. That's one. That's how transfers work. You get sold, you leave, you get a new salary from the other club. I'm saying think about your career, because you're done right now. You're done at this club, and actually, even if you're quote unquote not done, it's not working out for you. Like you can see it, you can feel it. It's that bad. Are you not thinking about your career and are like, man, I need to revive it. Somehow I need to start over again, because this is not it. I don't get it. He's 20, like 24, 25. He's not 35. I would understand that situation. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take my money as well if I'm 35. He has his entire career in front of him right now. Why will you behave like this? That's my thing. That's my point. That's the question I'm having. Now, if he is out there and he's like, no, I'm going to sit out, I want my money, I think it's just odd. But I'm not going to say you can outdo that, because he's a contract. He can do whatever he wants. I get that. And I've always said it. It's a contract. We handed it to him. If he's that decision, then fine. But my question is, it's your career, and you're just completely throwing it away right now. Completely. Which one do you think is the better move? Sign Leone and loan him off directly, or sign Valeri?
I don't think we would loan.
Yeah, and right now we need help, and I've not watched a lot of Valeri, to not say almost none. But I would say I'll take him, because we need center back help. Even if I don't know what his quality is, Leone's not going to help us next season then.
Yeah, and Tudor knows him, so.
As well. Forgot about that. Vlahovic knows he's never going to get that money. He's on now. We're stuck with him, and that's. But again, Alex, he's getting. Okay, so he's going to sit out for. What is it? 8 million now, I think it is, right? It's 8 million this season. No, so he got that money. It's just 12 million euros, right? What he's going to get next season. So he's going to sit out for 12 million euros a season, and then his contract is free, or sign a 4-year deal at 6 and get 24. That's what he's like. Like he can get more money.
Plus
Because
also
you
signing
never
bonus.
know what's happening. Yes, but again, he can tear up his ACL in training. Then he has no money the following season, like literally none, because he's done. He's a free agent, and he's never gonna get that money. So again, he's on a 1-year deal. He's not on a 5-year long time deal. No one's gonna give him 4 years. He's easily gonna get 4 years. He's 25. He's gonna get that easy. Not on 8 million or 12 million, but on 6, he's gonna get that. I don't think that's an issue. Like 4-year deals are just the base right now, almost in football. Like if you sign a 3-year deal, it looks weird at this moment in time. It does look weird. But he's gonna get 4-year offers without any doubt, no issue. Actually, the talk about Milan was a 4-year deal as well, at around 6 million euros. That's what Milan were offering. 4 years plus an option at 6 million euros. That was what has been reported. So he's gonna get that if he lowers his demand. It's World Cup year 2. Vlahovic needs to play. Yeah, but he's already not starting over Mitrovic. So I don't. Even if he plays, I don't see how that's going to change right now as well.
They started a few games together as well, so I don't know.
Yeah, that didn't look good. I watched some of it. It didn't look good at all. That doesn't work as well. Okay, let's move on to Jadon Sancho. That's what I was looking for, because, like I said, when it comes to Juve news, it's good that Romano and Matteo Moretto are out there, but I'm going to take words from other guys in this situation, because if you listen to Fabrizio Romano and Matteo Moretto, it's not as close as Mirko De Natale, for example, suggests, because they keep hammering on the salary is way too big. It's too much. When you listen to Mirko Natale, it's actually very manageable. It's 5 plus bonus. He's willing to drop to that. So if that's the case, then it's not far. But if you listen to Romano and Matteo, it's far, because the wages are still, demands are extremely high. And I know, you know what it is. When Romano and Matteo Moretto, they will always add other clubs are interested as well.
Yeah.
Mirko Natale and others will also do that only if they have a feeling a deal is not potentially closed. Because if it's potentially closed, it's kind of irrelevant that other teams are in for him as well. Because if it's closed, that means you're in serious talks and the difference is not that much. So saying other teams are interested as well, it doesn't really make sense, you know? When the others do it, again, they suggest it's not that close as well. So that's that part of the news. So according to Di Marzio, Romeo, Mirko Natale, the talks were positive again, you know, and it's getting closer, you know, to what everybody wants. Now Romeo spoke and he said, we tried to offer Douglas Luiz, Timothy Weah, and Vlahovic in a deal, but Man U just want money right now. They're interested in Douglas Luiz, but they'd rather have money in this type of deal, and then they will see what they will do with that situation as well. But what do you make of the entire back and forward with this deal?
I don't know. In what he was in England, that was super scary. That he didn't play games because he didn't want, depression. And might as well it was depression, but it was the first time I've heard about this ever, that a player won't play because of depression. But in Dortmund he was really good. I really liked him in Dortmund, and even when he was on loan now, he was okay. Champions League as well. So I don't know. I must say I don't like Conceicao that much, that we should spend 30 plus 10 we already spent on him, so 40 on Conceicao. And Sancho has experience. He's a good player. He just needs to find his place, and who knows, maybe Juventus, maybe Italy is his place. So yeah, and about the news, I'm sorry, it's just I don't think many knows exactly what's going on. it's hard to navigate between the news, but I tend to think that Mirko is Di Natale is right on this one, and we are indeed close. What are the Fenerbahce? Or I'm not sure who are on him.
Yeah, Romano said they're out of the race, and Romano said other teams. Like, yeah, I don't know what that means.
That's too vague. Yeah, that's too vague. That's
yeah, but that's normal. Like, we're not the only team in for Jadon Sancho. We knew that as well.
And I think ideally, Vlahovic or Douglas Luiz can go to Manchester United, and but the problem is that Douglas Luiz, we would lose money on Douglas Luiz if he goes for like 25.
Yeah, surely there needs to be money included for us.
Yeah, because there is no trade in European football. It's not the NFL, so everyone needs to pay. But yeah, Douglas Luiz has to worth more than Sancho. Otherwise, it just doesn't work for us. So I don't know what to think, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, as well, when it comes to Jadon Sancho, I have, like, if you give me an option, I sign neither, nor Jadon Sancho or Conceicao. But when it comes to Conceicao, when people say it's only 30 million, it's 40 million. It's not 30, it's 40. Yes, we paid 10, and that's ridiculous, but that doesn't mean you just need to throw another 30 at it just because you paid 10. Yeah, it's bad, from the 10, but you're never going to get that back. Throwing 30 at it doesn't mean you're going to get that 10 back. It means you threw 40 in total to Conceicao. Even yesterday, it's frustrating because even when he beats this guy, but he needs to make a little bit of contact, he turns around and he recycles the ball. It's just and yesterday it became a bit more tidy, and he disappears in games. And when he nutmegs Bellingham at our box and he does his tricks there, fine, but it needs to happen up top more consistently. And you're gonna miss his speed probably, but he's just way too inconsistent, too much. And when people say who else is out there for 30, I don't know. Then pay 40, pay a bit more, and get some. Like, you know what I mean? You cannot spend 30 million just because there's not better out there. What if next season there's better out there? Then what are you gonna do with Conceicao? You know what I mean? Like that. It shouldn't be based on those talking points, in my opinion. But it's still not over for Conceicao. Romeo was speaking on it, and he said probably he's asking for around 4 million euros as well, which is a lot of money. It is a lot of money as well. So maybe the club is like, 40 million and 4 million a season for what you have really offered, especially in moments, when games got open and closed. I think the club's looking at it and saying, I don't know. If we get you a cheaper deal, then we will take it. Otherwise, we will not. We will not do it. Basically. What do you think about Sam Bukima? Gatti is going to Napoli, but a partnership of him and Buongiorno would be great. I'm not the biggest Buongiorno fan, to be honest. Really quickly, Roma are doing the weirdest shit. I need to call it shit because they're signed to Torino players to make plusvalenza, players who I don't think exist, which is crazy. Now Di Marzio's saying they're getting Wesley, but Everton will sign him and then we'll loan him out to Roma because they have the same ownership. It's actually insane that all those things can happen. They're selling a player to Torino for 70 million. I think he plays for a Primavera just to get the books right. Like, actually insane. Besides Ajax game, tell me the game Chico was top. I don't know.
Crickets.
Probably more games, but I mean, we had such a poor season that I cannot recall the good games from any player, to be honest. So there's no other player out there but Chico and Sancho, apparently, Alex. Gamble with young and talented players versus rejects from other teams. Okay, you can put it like that, but how talented is Conceicao? And gambling, like 40 million is not a gamble. Like, that should be, you're good enough to play right now, week in, week out. That's not a gamble. A gamble is Alberto Costa for 30 million euros. That's a gamble. Yeah. That's a gamble. Like, that's a talented gamble. But 40 million euros, I don't think we can gamble. I don't think we're in a situation to gamble with 40 million euros. That's, if you pay 40 million, you need to start basically week in, week out, and you're going to need to perform week in, week out, which is not doing. I'm not negative, Actually, you're very negative. I'm like, you're very negative on many things. Just because I don't like Conceicao, like, I don't hate Conceicao, but I'm not the biggest Conceicao fan. It's as simple as that. It's not shown enough for me to say, yeah, he's worth 40 million euros. I've seen it. So, but yeah, that's just the reality, of the situation. I think that's the club. Also, I don't see many clubs for Conceicao win as well.
Yeah.
He will probably get an offer from the Premier League, but not the top clubs, in my opinion. He's not going to get those. So
yeah, for another 20, I would be like, okay, he might worth that, but another 30, it's a no for me, to be honest. And I think we need experience and quality right now. I don't care about talent.
Yeah, I'm not negative. I just want to win. I actually don't get people saying negative. I just want to win. We're not winning. We've been poor, so I don't. If you want to call it negative positive, then I don't know what positive means in this situation.
Yeah,
I don't get it, to be honest. I'm realistic, said Reno. I'm not sure. We have receipts in the group chat, Reno. Wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But yeah, that's that basically. I mean, it's done right now. Season is done for now, and actually we have a very short preseason. A bit worried about that, especially when Tudor said the players were asking for subs. I'm actually worried about the fitness level at the start of the season. But we have a good solid month right now, or June, because apparently we are starting the end of July, beginning of August, start of August with our training, which is a bit.
It feels too late.
It feels too late. I'm not gonna lie. I agree. It feels too late. I think the players should like 2 weeks, but yeah, they had an extra 3 weeks maybe. So they should be back the last week of July, maybe. Okay, so let's see. Then I have almost a month to prep for the season. If people were complaining there were not much preseason games, I don't think it's needed. Depending on how many players you're going to sign, but the fitness level needs to be top because that's an issue. But now we have a solid month, I say, for Comolli to get a lot of things done. A lot of things done. Like a lot of things done. When it comes to outgoings, especially outgoings, and the players who are difficult to move on, and get the key players. They are saying like 3 targeted players, get them in early. How confident are you that we're going to not be in a situation where we're playing Roma in a couple of days and it's here we go, Conceicao, Nico, and Coal Miners?
I'm gonna be positive now. I think Comolli will get to work. It's I don't know. It's worrying that he needs to get to work when he's not even our sporting director, but it is what it is. He wants to take his time and sign the best possible sporting director, even if it takes him another 2 months, he said. So yeah, I don't know. I think he loves football and he loves to work, as far as I understand from his interviews. So he will be a lot more efficient than Giuntoli was. So I think I don't have worries. I just worried a bit. I need to see the center backs. But I think he will get done some stuff fairly quickly, and I hope I'm coping. Yeah.
Okay, I will give him a shot, but I don't think he will succeed because it's a difficult situation. Not really entirely his fault, but it's not an easy situation as well. How are you going to move out Nico Gonzalez and Douglas Luiz and all these players and Vlahovic? They're on big money. They have massive value on the books, especially the previous two I mentioned. They're not your signings, so now you need to figure it out. So it's going to be very difficult, and people know you want them out as well, and they had a poor season or didn't really play. So it's not easy. So I think that's going to stall a lot of things, and could put in a situation where we miss out on certain targets as well. So I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't really blame him for that. But if we are a week before kickoff and then he brings in 3 players, I will blame him for that, because that's too long. At the end of the day, it's still your job to figure it out. So that's way too long. But let's see.
And he can sign a sporting director anytime. It's on him to make picky.
But right now it's already too late for a sporting director. I don't need him to come in. It's too late. Just too late. So, okay, people. I think we're gonna wrap it up because we discussed everything really, everything that kind of mattered. Let's see tomorrow if there will be any news. For a call-in show, it will be tomorrow or Sunday. Most likely on Sunday, to be honest. But who knows? If there's some real good news we can discuss, I will do it tomorrow. Otherwise, it's like I said, Sunday. But yeah, that's it for me. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Norbert, thanks for joining as well. Last match reaction, post game for a while. We'll see how the next one will go. Probably against Dortmund, friendly, but still match reaction. Anyways, people, that's it. Have a good evening or morning, depending.